Thank you, Sarah. I'd like to call the Wednesday, July 1st, 2026 Economic Development Commission meeting to order. Those in attendance, Meg Schlesman.
Joe Gorgolinsky, but I think you said July.
Did I say July?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm reading from the minutes. Sorry. Wrong date, August 5th.
Oh, there we go. Thank you.
Thank you, Carol.
Gorgolinsky.
Ross Smith.
And Bob and Eric, Economic Development Director.
Guest star.
Guest star.
Guest star.
Well, I won't say that. Guest.
Yes.
Hi, how are you? Okay, so first on our agenda this evening, we have meeting minutes. I don't know if anyone had them from the actual July 1st meeting.
Could we do those after?
Do them after? Sure.
A
Absolutely.
little bit.
We're going to take things out of order, and we are
Right,
going
because Margaret has to be another meeting.
Absolutely. Welcome Margaret Bacon to talk about the waterfront research project.
The pedestrian trail project. Okay, we have two potential projects here in Douglas that we're talking about. And this really all kind of spearheaded through the Master Plan Steering Committee. That's kind of where it started, and it really started with Carol, with her connections with Mr. Jackman. So we'll just talk about this one briefly, and then we can talk about the other one. So this is the one down on B Street, okay? This and Jackman's funeral home is up here. So he's offered to donate this parcel to the town, okay? And so this is a nice piece of property. You can easily, with low funds, create a nice little pedestrian trail with picnic tables and things like this. The parking lot is a little more involved. And so I know there's issues because this used to be part of the axe factory, and is there potential, contamination on site? Well, unless you really start digging, you don't know. But, what I would think for small money, and Bob, you mention this all the time, if you're not doing a lot of excavating, then it doesn't matter.
Right.
And so I think it would be advisable for the town, just for a few bucks, to talk to a licensed site professional to see what we can and cannot do on that parcel and stay out of trouble. Because we don't know. It'd be a shame to, what do they say, you throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Right.
When this could be perfectly suitable. And I know if you did this park in phases, you could easily park cars right here along B Street. Go down here, small money, create a walking path with picnic tables and benches, and then that be something at a later date. But I wouldn't think doing something like that would trigger any type of, contamination issue. But you'd want to run that by a consultant who, that's their expertise. We're just kind of guessing.
We do have access to Pat of Environmental Services, I think. We already walked the Gilboa site with him, John Charbonneau and I.
Okay.
We mentioned this site. He did not have time that day, but we plan on walking the site with him.
Yeah, you just need feedback from a professional, because if we do this and we're not digging, doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter what's underneath
Right.
your surface.
Right, so I mean, that's phase 2. But right now, you have plenty of places to park right along B Street, so this could be done rather quickly and for short money. And so what I did for the committee, actually, I just made copies of, this was our presentation.
Oh, great.
For this.
Great.
I have one.
Yeah, we. Oh, okay. Everybody has one. All right. Because we.
Oh, there you go. Sure. Thank you.
Because if you look on, because I got involved in the one in Webster, the French River
Very
connection.
nice, yeah.
And I tell you, once they built that thing, it became a great little park.
Yep.
So.
A couple of questions. Is the intention to do raised pedestrian bridges, or is this all ground level?
This thing right here,
The walkway?
I would just say, why not mulch it? Just
Okay.
Right.
clean it and mulch paths. I don't see why you would have to have raised walkways.
You might not have a straight line. you go around trees, so you don't even
Yeah.
cut trees. But I understand from you that there's some non-native trees
Well,
there.
there's a lot of Norway maple in there that are invasive.
Invasive.
So sort of you cleaned out some of those. You don't have to clear cut the whole
Right,
place.
right.
But you could take some of them out. And then there's a bunch of knotweed over here. That would be a good project for, someone to clean that knotweed out of there. But,
And are those wetlands that you're referencing on the
Yes.
right? Okay,
yeah, this gets real wet here.
yeah,
But it's not wet here. This used to be all part of the axe factory, all up here.
yeah. And would we, in the orange line, would we then put either some kind of a fence so you couldn't go right down to the river, or no?
I
You
wouldn't-
just
I wouldn't.
keep it?
Well, looking at the elevation lines, it looks like it drops off fairly quick,
Considerably.
all on the outside to the riverside and the wet side. Looks like it's got a pretty good,
It's 370 to 386. 370 closest to the river, and then 380.
So you got a 10-foot drop right here, but I don't know why you'd have
It's
to
not
put
bad.
fencing. I
No,
mean,
I don't think.
I just
we did
didn't,
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, and this is just, I just drew this on here. You could put it however, the
like you
easiest way
say,
to.
zigzagging the trees or whatever's there.
Correct,
Right,
Yeah.
right.
correct.
This
And
is
so like I
just
say,
an
for small money, you could easily come up with something quick. Because, and I tell you, people come up to me in the post office and always asking, what's going on with that? We heard this, we're going to build this, you
Yeah.
know, and
People want things like
So-
this in the
Yeah.
town.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
we might even get some of the businesses to volunteer and each donate a picnic table or something.
Yeah.
oh yeah, and you get somebody to donate to, actually just, kind of clear and grub the area in there and mulch the paths. That's all you need is a starting point.
Right.
So that's this one.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would flag it out with you.
Well,
I would flag it out with you so we know where the path is going.
well, you flag it out, I go out there with the GPS, locate it, and put it on paper.
Paper.
So, so that's this one. Like I say, this one is,
Simple.
The easiest one to
simple,
do.
simple, and is alls we would need is a little advice from a licensed professional about what we could and could not do here, and I think that would take away the fears.
Yeah.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Or how we're even looking at something that's, like you say, impossible.
Right,
Move
right.
on to something else, or.
Right, it's a shame
Yeah.
because it has all sorts of potential and people get nervous and,
Yeah. Somebody
So-
picks up a grinder
I
up
agree.
at Harry's and go sit down there and.
Right.
yeah.
Yeah,
by the
we can
river.
promote it and,
Yeah.
And I know you're talking about the parking lot being, another phase or whatnot, but that could just be gravel. But
Yeah, it is.
gravel or grindings or,
That's
doesn't-
correct. Well, what's here now is a lot of the old rocks and
The
concrete,
stones.
the stones from the axe factory.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
obviously that would have to be leveled.
Right.
So I don't know how much you'd have to take out of there. So I guess the thing is we're avoiding excavation because we don't want to open a can of worms,
There was a granite building there, is what was there. The roof had fallen in, and so they just pushed it over.
Pushed it in.
Left it over.
It'd be neat if some of the, some of the stones that are there kind of laying around, not saying dig for them, but if they're laying around, to put them on display or
yeah,
or anything
yeah.
like that, a little bit of history with it, and
Like you use a row of them
Like you say,
along the high
minimal-
point in the river.
excavation fill more than you
There's your
do.
fence.
Yeah.
Well,
Some of the
well, there
stones,
you-
just
that's
put 'em along
correct.
the
That's
edge.
correct. You could do that. That's correct.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it would be nice if there were any of the grist mill, the wheels,
Mhm.
the grinding wheels. You see them all over town, but,
Well, they're in the river. You
There's a
look-
bunch,
Oh, yeah.
there's a bunch down by the treatment plant.
oh yeah, because
Yeah.
that was a bridge. They
Yeah.
use the abutments for the bridge, they use those wheels.
would we have to offer facilities,
No.
porta potty, anything like that if we do this?
It's a good question.
That is a good question.
Yeah.
And we could, I mean,
Is there porta potties over at the field, the softball field?
There's one, I think. There is a handicap porta potty.
So
on the
it is
far end.
required?
Well, if it's required or
I
not.
don't know if it's
I don't know if there's a minimal
either.
foot traffic
Yeah.
requirement, or I don't know, but I'm
Is
sure.
that a
we've
Board of
got
Health
to-
question?
Yeah, it might be.
Yeah.
No, that wouldn't be a deal breaker.
no,
I'm sure it's still doable with.
Yeah.
right.
But very good question.
But we should probably just understand what, and then the 100-foot riverfront area for conservation is, do we get into any problems with that, depending if people are going, I don't know, if the tables are there or whatever, or are they
Well,
not
in
going to
the
care?
regulations, you still have to file before the commission, but the regulations allow a lot more flexibility when it comes to pedestrian paths.
Okay,
You know, it's not like a developer can go in there and do something else, so.
okay.
And it would be 200-foot riverfront.
Yeah, and actually, they encourage stuff like this,
Yeah.
so.
I think it's a great idea. I think
Yeah.
it's an easy win.
Mhm. For minimal cost.
No, that's right, so that's that one. You want to talk about the other one?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm from the old school, I still like the old, you know.
Yeah.
I miss them.
All right, so here's the Gilboa one. And so, just to get your bearings, there's the parking lot. Here's the property the town owns now, correct? Here's that questionable parcel right
Yep.
there, correct? And I've been down there several years ago. Somebody wanted me to look at this parcel to see if it was developable. So I know you can walk, and you were down there, so I know you
Many
can.
times.
You can walk around down there. Some spots are a lot wetter than others. It's all floodplain, but you can still put trails in there, you know? So, you know, during the flooding season, you stay out of there. But so I know one of the big concerns is getting from here over to here.
Yeah.
And so, one thing I tell you, have you ever seen those floating docks in Marlboro? Now, they're just putting those in. I just saw this on the news. They're going to be putting the exact same things in Natick, connecting two parks on each side of the lake. So with these floating docks, and the reason I called Marlboro, because I was curious about it, the Marlboro Conservation Commission, and she said they were going to build the boardwalks, you know, because you'd have to, because there's no room really along this shoulder, and then you got the canal right there. That'd be a very expensive to try to build anything wooden type of boardwalk. So then I drove by when I saw these things. And so I called up the Marlboro Conservation Commission, and she said, oh yeah, we were going to build those wooden boardwalks, but this was half the price. And look I tell you, they're a
There you go.
big hit.
Oh, yeah.
You know, so you could do all sorts of things with these floating docks.
And that
you
is
could
different.
you could cut right across this parcel here, and I guess the town owns land over here, or you could take those floating docks and go right down that canal, you know, and that'll get you over there, you know.
Or stay in the river, keep the canal in its natural state.
Well, either way, I mean,
Yeah.
I think it would be beneficial if we were going to move forward with this, you know, I talked to the guys who do these docks, they're up in New Hampshire. I'm sure they'd be willing to come down. And then I'd love to talk to Marlboro again to see how well these things are holding up. They've been in place now for a couple years.
They take them out every year, every winter?
I don't think so.
No, they stay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you familiar with them?
Yeah, and there's always people on them.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Families.
Even my
Beautiful.
son went out there. He comes from Whitensville.
Yeah.
He just went out there to walk on.
Yeah, it's really, you drive by there and you take a double take. What is that?
It's very cool.
kinda
Yeah, it is cool, but I think they do stay in.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Yeah. Yeah, so I mean, it's
Because it's
definitely
quite
something.
long. It's long.
Oh, yeah, I got it right here. They got along the edge of the pond, which we would do maybe along the edge of there, you know, but obviously it comes down to costs and what is going to be the cheapest way to go from here to get over there.
We
You
just
know.
want to go from sea to land.
You want to go up?
Sea to land.
From Sea to Land.
To get to the access point wherever the big parcel is.
Well, I wonder, just thinking outside the box. Like, cut across here? We don't own this land here, right?
Sure
I
that's not the
believe that's
sewage
sewage
treatment?
treatment plant.
Okay, so you put a little floating dock here, you have a trail right here, and another floating dock right there, and you're right in there. Yep. You know? Just something to think
You
about.
ride bikes on them?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We actually have a walking path around our water sewage plant, which is bizarre, but we do. It's right next to a Dairy Queen, so people get
Oh!
Dairy Queen and then you walk around.
5-foot sundaes.
Oh,
5-foot sundaes.
As long as you're not downwind of it.
So I'm not far from there.
I think that sounds like a great alternative. At least we
Yeah.
have, you know,
Something to look into, that's for sure, to
Well,
see that.
absolutely, because any other option to get from here to here, it's not that easy.
Right.
You know?
right.
So,
Especially running it all the way down.
correct.
We were discussing that small piece today. I call it 45.1 because that's what it's designated
Is
as.
that the hazardous site?
Well, we don't know if it's hazardous.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's possible contamination. We've got the reports, we're looking those over, having people look at those. So we might take that and just use the back section. The back section is virgin. Where the easement is, you see the big electrical easement going through there? On the riverside, that's all virgin soil.
Okay.
It's not been filled. It's the front side where there's piles, looks like 10-wheelers
Yeah.
went in there, dumped about 10 piles of dirt. But we won't be touching those.
Well, right, and another thing too is when we map out the trail, you know, you want to minimize some of the real wet
Correct.
lands, you know? So,
And that's where a little footbridge comes in, to get
Yeah.
from one section to another. The big dry area is in the bottom half, right in there. You're in a whole nother world when you're in
Yeah.
there. No undergrowth, nothing.
yeah, nice floodplain, but
Yeah.
yeah, no reason you can't put picnic tables in there, you know?
Perfect spot for picnic
Correct.
tables.
So, and that's a perfect spot to park. We just got to get from there
A to
to
B.
here.
What's the orange, brownish marks that are going down there? Are those different light, yeah, is that lot
I
lines?
just threw those
That's our
on.
trail
as-
system.
That's my trail.
That's our
Oh, that's your
proposed trail
trails,
system.
okay, okay. got
You
it.
see how extensive you can make it in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So who are you currently working with on this?
John Charbonneau and CMRPC.
Okay, so
With Tate,
what?
what's her name? T-A...
Tarou.
Tarou.
I was like, who are you talking about?
Tarou. I had the TA right.
Yeah.
Because I was talking to Taru a couple weeks ago, and I told her I'd go down there with my GPS equipment.
Mhm.
If somebody wanted to, we can mark trails, and then we just locate it with the GPS, and then we update this plan, you know? So my conversation was with Taru is how do we put ourselves in a good position where we get funding, you know? Because I'm sure there's a lot of competition for this type of funding. So what can Douglas do to help, you know, push this along? You
Well,
know?
Mass Trails would be a great start. They can help with the engineering, and then we do this in Clinton. We stack every year. We apply for Mass Trails. Every year we have a very small amount of money in that we put in a fund, like a match fund, that goes to town meeting, and they reapply every year, and the match fund pays for the match, and we've successfully, every year we build a little bit more of our trail.
Okay.
That's where I would start, for sure.
Yeah, okay.
Isn't there something going on right now where there's some money available? Remember that group that came in and spoke to us maybe 2-3 months ago?
There wouldn't be the people we're talking to now, Tarou, would it? CMRPC?
I don't think it was.
Because we have money from Tarou.
Yeah, they were.
There is a grant,
Yeah, they were
$50,000.
Maybe
in
that's
the
it.
resource room, right?
Yeah.
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 Okay, that was it.
I think that's
Yeah.
what, yeah.
Yeah, we had all the posters and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Oh, yeah. I went to one of those.
Right, yeah.
Yep.
They've had 3 more sessions since then.
So I guess my question is it, and I don't want to hold you, Margaret, because I know
No, I got plenty,
it's
no, I'm
it's
only in the
almost
next room,
6:25.
so
Okay.
plenty of time.
That's fortuitous. Is it appropriate for us to be working on this in addition for you and John and CMRPC to be working on it?
This one, I think you should concentrate on the other one.
Yep.
This one is kind of, we're already working with CMRPC
Okay.
and a $50,000 fund and the
Yeah.
EPA, and not the EPA, but the environmental guy.
Okay.
Well, when I was talking to Taru, she said this other one had a lot of appeal because of its location downtown. And how it would meet that, what's that, that new buzzword everybody's trying to meet, the
Revitalization?
No, it's, everybody's.
Placemaking,
What is it?
placemaking,
No, there's something,
like technical.
I mean,
Yeah, well, yeah, so it's just like down at the Gilboa, the pavement, if you made it more green, you know.
Oh, impervious.
permeable.
Impervious?
No, but what is that? That would go under what, one of those grants? That's what they were looking for.
Green
You said the-
space?
No, if you said the word, I knew it.
Not that
It's
they-
sort of the tip of my
Sounds
tongue,
like-
'cause I was looking through all the grants
Yeah.
before I came, and I know
well, they're
it's
trying to keep all the green,
it's almost like the
the atmosphere and all of
beautification
that.
or the,
Yeah.
You know,
You're going to think about it when you get to your
They
meeting.
bring it up all the time, the latest and greatest, what you're trying to, now we're trying to meet,
Yeah,
you know.
Climate control?
Yeah, something like that. Climate resiliency.
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 So she was saying this one
There you go.
would meet that, has more appeal because of resiliency, because you're now near downtown and more people would access this, and so.
right.
So it checks off that box.
This one was appealing to this commission only because it's connected to downtown. And you have to start somewhere to revitalize our downtown.
Well, this is, like I say, we're short money, you know.
Yep.
No, the other
There you
thing, the
go.
other resiliency too, that probably comes into like, okay, people can walk there, they don't have to use their car. So that would be part of the reason too. Let's keep people down here where they can walk instead of
Right.
using their car and putting fumes into the atmosphere. So that might be what they're looking for, stuff that's
Well, that's
close.
what she said, it had a, strong appeal for that, so.
Give them a
Which is-
reason to stay
Yeah, it's
downtown.
I
You
just
know?
love the Putnam area because it's got that huge river
Oh,
walk
yeah, they
like
got a big
this.
one, yeah,
Yep.
And restaurants galore.
yeah,
Yeah.
You can check a lot of boxes, one drive to Putnam.
yeah. Putnam has some
And just-
really good restaurants.
Yeah.
Just given the feedback that we've got from the town through the master plan about stuff like
Look at
this,
that a little bit.
I guarantee you could
The match with no big problem.
gather so many volunteers that would be willing to go, like you say, go down and help and just,
Yeah.
It's not gonna take much,
no.
you know.
I laugh about Putnam because I always say Putnam is like the Marsha Brady of planning. Everybody's always like, Putnam, Putnam, Putnam.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've done a nice job.
They
really
did,
have.
they have, and it
Yep.
stands out.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've actually done a tour of Putnam because they have a small business administration or a small business group. They have a chamber. The mayor has they've been working for
Mhm.
a long time
Yeah.
on that downtown.
Really cleaned up a lot of it. and
Yeah.
it's
They
very,
invited a
very
couple
nice.
of us down there to like, take a tour. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
I always say too, if you want it to happen, there's a way to make it happen.
Mhm.
And if you constantly say no, it'll never happen.
Right.
It'll never happen.
Baby steps.
Right. Serious, this
Life by the inch is a cinch. And just one little step at a time, you know, and
And if
that's
we-
how things
If we can
happen.
make it so it's not so dark down there, thin out some of the trees so
Right.
that it's light and bright and people want to sit down and have lunch down there or whatever.
Right.
You could do a little food truck action if you could get a parking lot in there or on a
Yeah,
weekend.
there's all types of possibilities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's the type of thing too, where if you were just by yourself, you'd feel comfortable going over
Sure.
there.
Mhm.
Where some other places like,
Right, it's
Right.
kind
You
of dark
want-
and,
You know.
yeah, yeah.
even mothers with kids and stuff. Are they going to take them to another place? I don't know. But over here,
Sure.
you're right where everybody can see
And
them.
it's
It's a
almost-
nice place.
It's funny because for years, I'd drive down B Street and you'd see that little raised spot where the
In the
old
corner.
building used to be. And you talk about Putnam, and for years, I've always pictured a clamshell sitting there,
Yeah.
and somebody with an acoustic guitar or just a little jazz band or something, and people just enjoying the space, the open space.
There's enough flat space right now without even touching that to get in probably 4 cars.
I bet you there's more than that.
Without,
Yeah.
and it's not much of a grade coming off of the street either.
No. It's
Well-
pretty easy to do.
You could easily get a few cars there.
Well, I think the first priority would be to talk to the licensed site
Exactly,
professional, to
yeah.
see what we can and can't do and stay out of trouble. And then the
Yeah.
next thing is to, take Jackman up on his offer.
Yeah, right.
And acquire that piece of property. Because we can't do anything until We do.
Right, right.
Right.
I don't want to
We
say
need-
too much because it's not my turn on the agenda, but we do have a brownfields project program that we're running where we can do phase 1 and phase 2 assessments, and we have an LSP that we're working with. If you want, I can put it on the list.
Yeah.
Now,
that's-
explain phase 1, phase 2, because I'm not.
Environmental?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
it's $1 million grant that we got last year. We can use it in any of our 40 communities. And the licensed site professional, it's Weston and Sampson that we're working with. And they can do, phase 1 is essentially like a history of the site, they get like a desktop.
Yeah, yeah.
Phase 2 is when they go in and do a little bit of a deeper dive into what the
Soil
Soil
testing
sampling.
and, yeah.
So we're able to do phase 1 and phase 2 on potential projects. So it's up to our Brownfields Advisory Committee, but we can't see where they would have a problem with this, especially where it has a sustainability
Yeah.
outcome. They also could potentially, again, stack funding sources and maybe do like some site planning on top of it. I'm happy to.
That would
That's
be-
that's the white elephant in the room, is what's on there, and if we take it, we're responsible for it. If we find it, Jackman's responsible for it.
Right, so Jackman's not gonna let us go in there.
And,
And I can't say as I blame
Well,
him.
So I guess I see doing the phase 1, so tabletop, and he's gonna tell us the chances that there is anything there based on what was happening. And then we go back to, so phase 2, do we even want to do phase 2? Let's just say it comes back, there's a high probability that there could be contamination. Well, if we're not digging up the soils, does it matter?
Right, I don't know if we don't
Correct.
have an obligation if we do a site one and we have a feeling that there might be something, would we then be obligated to do this?
I think it's
Phase
worth just having the conversation with
Yeah.
the engineering
right.
firm that we work
Yeah.
with. But I think it would be a great avenue.
But I think that would have to
Yeah.
be something that we start once we own the property, not beforehand.
Right, just the
Well-
All we're
liability
gonna, I think
for,
initially, just do the tabletop.
I think the phase 1
Yeah, yeah.
needs to be done regardless. That'll let us know if we want it or not, more than likely.
And what are the chances? What are the
Right.
chances? It's just phase 1. Nobody's going down there and digging
Right.
anything, you know?
Right.
And honestly, yeah, it was an axe factory, but what would they have used? You know, there'd be iron, there'd be stone dust,
Yeah.
Charcoal.
maybe, yeah, charcoal,
Ash.
possible oils, but
And I think it was
it's not like it was a chemical
Blacksmith.
factory, you know what I
a
mean?
blacksmith that my father said he used to
Yeah.
take the horse down there to get
Right.
shoes.
Shoes.
So it's hammer and steel and fire,
One step at a time.
you know?
Yep.
Is there I know it's B Street, but is there an actual address? A location? Do you
Don't
know?
think so.
It's kind of the whole
Plot. The whole thing
south
from one street
side
to
of
another.
Let's see what our
South side,
GIS map
south.
says.
southerly, I think it's south.
Yeah, here's the north barrel. Here's the north barrel.
Yeah, so southerly side of B Street. It's the whole length.
it looks like we could even go up to the right.
Yeah, it goes out to Cook, and it's
Yeah.
on this side, the other side of the river too.
It's right behind, what's the corner, Harry? Not, it will have.
Goodness Store.
Goodness Store.
Yeah.
Goodness store.
Yeah.
That parking lot, the back end of the parking lot is part of
Sure,
Jackman's property.
Yeah.
Email? Do you
Oh,
have
sure,
like
I
a file?
can send email. I was gonna leave you this hard copy here.
Oh, that's
This
great.
committee, if you want.
Really helpful, thank
I'll
you.
leave both here for you.
Okay.
All right.
Yep,
Thanks.
appreciate it.
And then, yeah, if you give me your card, I'll email it to
I was
you.
just gonna say, I don't think I can throw my workbook, which is in the bag.
This is helpful, Margaret, we appreciate it.
Sure. And then, like I say, Bob, if you wanted to hang ribbons on the other one, I can go locate it.
I'll definitely take you up on that.
Bob, do you have Margaret's email?
Have I?
Do you have Margaret's email?
Margaret, oh, her email?
Yeah. Could you share the
Sure.
everybody do it?
That person.
Yeah, some great BVP students. Give them the equipment, put on their
Great.
locator,
That's
no
awesome.
problem.
Lace up your boots.
The official address is 8 B Street.
Okay, thank you.
It's parcel ID 142-1.
How big is it? How many acres? Do you have that on there?
3.74.
3.74?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And it's both sides of the river.
Yeah. Oh, so it's just a little bit on the other side, but it is
Yeah.
the other side of the river as well.
And it does kick up a little bit, like
A little
behind
bit
the
right there,
custodian
yeah.
area. Which could honestly be a little parking spot or picnic
Yeah.
table spot. too.
Yeah. That'd be a nice picnic table spot. You could just walk
Yeah.
down.
Yeah, so remember, there's some sort of tree right there, big tree. The table's on that.
I don't know if it's doable, but having a restaurant overlooking the river, right, I mean, halfway in the river, where you eat out on
Let's
it.
get
Hey,
picnic
guys.
tables first.
Baby steps, like Margaret said.
Yeah.
But
Baby
yes,
steps,
I would
baby
love to
steps.
see a restaurant.
I'm just extending Grill on Main to the river.
A floating food truck.
There you go.
There you go.
Just out of the
I'm
tunnel.
gonna stop it.
Just out of the tunnel.
They have a floating ice cream stand on Webster Lake. They go around with an
love
ice
it.
cream man on the Webster
Love it.
Lake.
We good?
Yes. Thank you, Margaret.
Quick question on those. I love the ideas, it was really awesome. So we're getting the ADA committee going. We've actually just had our first meeting a couple of weeks ago. And just like, since we're planning new trails and stuff and picnic tables, I just was gonna ask about if, as you go along, if you can keep in mind like accessibility.
Yeah.
Like if you can make a
Compliant.
handicap accessible
Absolutely.
area.
Absolutely.
A
That's a,
handicap accessible picnic table would be awesome, things like that. So
Yep, that's a great
if you
idea.
have any, like, questions or want any help or guidance, the committee is fully formed now and up and running, so
Yeah.
happy to help you with anything that's needed.
Awesome.
Can mulched trails be considered handicap accessible, or does it have to be
You don't
paved?
have to find that out.
Yeah,
I'm not
find
sure
that out.
offhand, but
Because we
can
can
look into
we
that.
can get the mulch for free, because the town's always piling it up over behind the, down by the
VFW,
cemetery there.
yeah.
We can bring it over and we can get the mulch for free.
we meet tomorrow, so I'll actually ask. I'll write myself a
Yeah,
note.
find out.
Actually, if
Because some of these things, if we ended up to the point where we had to do it, and we had to put in paved
compliant.
walkways and everything, we probably could not afford to do it,
Yeah.
and then it wouldn't happen at all.
Right. I know
Yeah.
some of it is like width requirements and like, maybe slope requirements, but
Yeah.
for certain trails, but, I mean, that's a relatively flat area until you get to the drop-off, obviously.
Right.
Right.
But,
But Carrie's saying if we apply for any type of grant, it would have to be
Yeah.
ADA compliant anyway.
Right.
So that's a good
yeah.
thing. So,
Right.
Well, I know I'm working with the Millis Conservation Commission. They're putting in a trail system. I'm working with Northeast Trails. I don't know if you've heard of them or not. But anyways, so they're doing one, and it's not fully handicap accessible. They're getting in a way where there's kind of semi. So, it's not as strict, so they don't have to do as much grading to make those, slopes so flat and things like that. And a lot of it is just, it's not going to be paved trails, so I'll have to find out from them
okay.
what they're using and the requirements. Maybe you do a combination of both, So, okay.
I think they consider stone dust, stone dust over mulch, right? I think is what they do. But it's definitely worth looking into.
And you were going to send me an email, and I'll send you.
I just did,
Okay,
yeah.
All right, very good. We good?
Yes, thank you so
Okay.
much. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Sorry, I didn't mean to jump in.
No,
It's
not at
hard to
all.
keep my mouth shut.
That's
No,
okay.
it's perfect.
No.
Well, you want as much
So we're
input
moving
as we
on.
can get.
Because we need, yes.
Right.
We need all the input.
We're moving on for agenda items. Number 4, CMRPC grant opportunities. Carrie?
Yes.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. I watched your last video and I read over the minutes from your previous meetings, so I feel like I already know you guys. But I'm Carrie, the Director of Economic Development at CMRPC. So I know you've worked with some of our team on different projects,
Yes.
but we are a full-service regional planning agency. So we have 2 divisions. This is a spiel I have to give. We have 2 divisions, regional collaboration and community planning and transportation. So our transportation side is large-scale transportation improvement program projects, transit, trails, complete streets, which I think could be something to discuss
Possibility,
in
yeah.
Douglas for sure, and on your main street. So that's our whole transportation side, and then our regional community, RCCP it's called. We do land use and zoning. We do sustainability projects. We have an entire energy team. Douglas just got a big green communities award.
Grant.
Backing up, that's
Strike-
okay.
Strike it from the record.
Yeah.
You're a green communities
Yeah.
town. We have housing. We do all types of housing projects. Comprehensive planning, which is what you're doing now with your master plan. I do economic development projects. I work quite closely with Bob on his large-scale projects, but these also, a lot of these small projects that you guys have been discussing are exactly on the money of what you should be discussing. The last this is your fourth meeting, right?
I think so.
Fourth or fifth,
May, June,
yeah.
July,
Yeah.
August. Everything that you have discussed is exactly what you should be discussing. We have some.
No one watches our meetings anyway, so don't worry about it.
It was I even made notes on some of the stuff that you discussed, like looking at the assessor's maps, talking about your zoning, referencing your master plan, the Riverwalk project, all the grant opportunities, the grammar school, just everything that you've discussed is A+. Also, updating your website. I'm not sure if that has been updated.
It has.
But it's
still
great information.
in the works, but it has been
Yeah,
updated, yeah.
it's really solid information. Also, I'm not sure if you are aware, but years ago, actually my first month at CMRPC, so this was a long time ago, almost 9 years ago, we made this story map for you guys that is interactive. And it's the first one we've ever made, so you have to keep that in mind.
You know, I don't think I know that. I'm surprised because I've been on every committee for the last 30 years.
Oh, really? So this is,
Where could this be found, Carrie?
it's not, I had to dig for it,
Okay, all right.
but it's certainly something that you could, we could update and you could link to your economic
That's
development
kind of what I was thinking,
page.
right?
Yeah.
Yep.
It would accompany your new master plan quite lovely. So as you see, it's quite colorful.
Yeah.
I'm scrolling quite fast. You don't have to do that, but
We recognize the pictures.
yeah. So it's got
It's all the main
yeah, it's got
things.
like all the main info. It's been archived because it was on an old system that they don't necessarily support anymore.
Okay.
But it's something that could be easily transferable, I think, onto, I shouldn't probably say that out loud, but it could be easily transferable. And I think it would go great on your website. A lot has changed since then. I joke with Bob that sometimes when we started this project, we kind of had to make stuff up about Douglas because there wasn't much. And now you have so much. You really, honestly, you've got such a great community here. You have, as far as, and if I'm doing like a quick assessment of your town, you have, obviously the town forest. You have Whalen Lake, which I did my first triathlon in.
Yeah.
You have Breezy Point. Like
Right.
there are a lot of things that draw people in.
Right.
And I was at the Douglas Master Plan Steering Committee workshop. So I was at the economic development table, so I did hear a lot of input on the Main Street. And a Main Street is, and people want that, right? They want a nice
100%.
Main Street, they want
Yep.
the flowers, they want the lights. Complete streets could help with some of the crosswalks and some of the sidewalks. We've used it in our community year after year after year. It's another project, it's another program where you can just build on it, right? You can do complete streets, safe routes to school, shared spaces, and there are 62 of us at CMRPC.
Oh, wow.
62 of us. And we love what we do, and we're all available to help. So it wouldn't always be like working with me, but like Taru's working on the river project. I think Danny's working on that project too.
Yeah, Dan.
Emily and Sam are on your master plan. I've already been in touch with our transportation team, letting them know that I'm coming here tonight. There's a lot of us to spread around.
Yeah.
And when you stack the resources, you can really start to make things happen.
So is there a way for us to obtain kind of an overview of what your thoughts of next steps as a commission would be in terms of stacking one thing or another, and the ability to get an overview of what each of those things are, perhaps?
I can do that for you, for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah, I know one of the things, so your master plan's almost done, right? Next month, I
Yes.
believe?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I know you'll be happy that those meetings are a lot.
Yeah.
It's kind of been fun, though.
It has
I
been.
will
Oh, it's
say.
been great.
Yeah.
It's
That
been
makes me
great.
happy.
Yeah.
We've allowed-
I've enjoyed it. I
Our
honestly have.
chairman has not run it very tightly, so he's allowed us to like sit there and brainstorm. And a
Go
lot
off
of
the
ideas
rails
have
is
come
Seriously, you
up.
can
Yeah,
go off on
right.
tangents for.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
But
it's
that's-
easy to do because you care about your, and you
Yeah.
have ideas.
Well, as you were
Right.
saying, that's where the ideas come
That's
from.
where the
Yeah.
ideas
Yeah.
come from. If you
Yeah.
just get the Robert's rules, you get nothing.
Right.
Stale.
Gives people the ability.
Right.
So once September, I believe it's September.
Yeah, September.
It will be
We present to the
designed,
planning board,
yeah.
right?
Two more meetings.
September?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So once the planning board approves it, it can go live,
Yeah.
and then the implementation part comes in,
Right.
and that's kind of where the fun happens, right?
Yeah.
And you have, there's a woman that runs a lot of events here in town. One of my project partners met with her. I don't know her name off the top of my head. Do you know who I'm talking about?
Runs events.
Does she work on the Common?
Oh, yes.
Yes.
Conservation,
Yeah. The
Common
the
Preservation
Common
Society.
Preservation.
Yeah, they do a lot of stuff.
What's her name? Lynn Pereski.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
there's a planner on my team who met with her, and I mean, sounds like extensive community
Oh, they've
involvement.
come up
Yeah.
with quite a bit up at the Common.
Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
the Scarecrow
from
contest.
5 years ago to what it is
Right, it
now.
was beautiful, and
Hummingbirds
the
and-
holidays,
Really good,
and,
holidays,
community
yeah,
lights.
yeah,
Oh.
and we had spoken about reaching out to them to ask them to attend a meeting here, because as we talk about beautification of the downtown, who better than to loop into that are the people who are making the common beautiful,
Yeah.
you know? So the more the merrier.
Yeah, especially if they're driven, and that's,
Right.
Yeah.
that seems to be a passion.
Mhm.
The other thing.
And they get a lot of donations, for
Yeah.
the lights and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, that sometimes they go hand in hand, right, the volunteers and the donations.
Right.
So there's Complete Streets. I think the Complete Streets has also updated their approval process, where you used to have to go to Complete Street School, and you had to wait for the Complete Street School to be offered. And then there was a policy that the select board had to adopt. And then there was a prioritization plan, which took months, because you had to inventory every single sidewalk and crosswalk in town. And they've kind of done away with a lot of that.
Yeah.
And they upped the price, the amount that you can get. You used to get 400, I think now you can get 500.
Wow.
So, and I'm pretty sure it's also a rolling program. So
Now, would they give
that's
us,
where I would start.
would
on
they
that
give us
front.
ideas of what we should want to put on the streets?
So it's a safety program, so
Okay.
it works with crosswalks and sidewalks.
Okay.
There's
One of the requirements with Complete Streets, wasn't it bike lanes?
That's what I was just going to
And
bring
the
that
problem
up.
we have is,
We don't have
Parking.
room for
yeah,
bike
our
lanes.
road
Yeah.
is very narrow.
So it's definitely like a tip project would be bike lanes, not 100% on Complete
Okay.
Streets.
Do bike lanes have to be paved?
Bike lanes or bike paths?
No,
Like bike lanes on the
Yeah.
roads?
Yeah, they do.
I'm pretty sure.
Okay, because I'm saying, if you want a bike lane, they had looked into actually at one time making the highway, Route 16 go right up the old railroad track.
Yep.
So if you did bike lanes over there, people wouldn't have to ride down Route 16 at all and get run over by trailer trucks.
Yeah,
I
that's-
don't know if that's an option or not.
yeah,
I'll
I'm
tell
not
you,
sure
I-
about that.
I love this place out in Plymouth. It's called, I think, Pine Hills and everything. It's a complete planned community.
Yeah.
And their roads are only 22 feet wide. And you think, well, that's kind of narrow. But no, they're 22 feet wide, and they curve, the speed limit's 20 miles an hour. The way they curve them around, you feel like you're going fast enough. But the sidewalks are not a sidewalk. The road is here. The sidewalk is probably as far away as the there's the stairway, or maybe the wall there, and they're like 5 feet wide, and you can go with your bicycle or your golf cart or whatever, and I mean, it's just fantastic. So you're not near the street when you're riding in your bike.
Right. I remember when they put that development in.
Yeah, of course, now
it was a
it's-
big deal because it is a planned community.
Right, it's gotten all kind of,
Smart
because
growth, yeah.
when it first went in, I've been going in probably now since it began, and, you know, it was interesting how they built, they'd have these lots, so they'd build a house here, and they'd build a house here, and then they'd build a house here, and then they build, well, now they're really squeezed out. It's smart how they did it, they didn't like,
Yeah, they sell better that way.
they didn't really, but I love Pine Hills.
Yeah, it's a lovely community.
I go there so often, they think I'm gonna buy.
That's awesome. Yeah, so not to just throw a lot at you, but there are several directions that you can go in,
Right.
and almost simultaneously so that you can keep the momentum going. But Complete Streets is definitely, there's a gentleman I work with named Adam, and I told him I was coming here, and he said to have you get in touch with him, and he'll happily come here.
And you said you have someone that works with housing as well?
Emily, who you know from Master
Oh,
Plan.
from Master
She's a
Plan.
housing planner.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yep. Yep, so she's our housing specialist. She does a lot of housing. Do you already have your housing production plan in Douglas?
No, we don't.
No. They talked, Charbonneau and Rich talked about that,
Yeah,
and they're on opposite sides of the fence.
really.
Well, I mean, it's really just
I want
a
to be on that.
discussion.
Straight up that. I want to be on that.
Yeah.
I probably know more about housing than any of you.
Right. And Adam works in what?
Adam's in our transportation
Transit.
department, and he works on Complete Streets. Do you have is your
Built my
ADA
life
plan
building
complete?
workforce affordable housing.
They
Yeah,
just
what's
started
affordable?
the.
We just started
What's
the
that?
committee.
What's
like,
affordable?
It was
So
then.
we're having our second meeting
But-
tomorrow, so I don't know the status on like an ADA plan, but I know the last like self-assessment we had was
What's it?
We may start having no choice.
It was a while ago.
It
They
was a
mentioned
while
it
ago.
the last time. I
Like
want to
10
say
years,
it
maybe?
was
More?
If we didn't
more
don't have
than
people
10.
in this
Yeah.
to be
Yeah. So
doing
that's
work
kind of
all
like
over your
one of our
home.
things that's one of our goals we're going to work toward probably.
Good job
But
for
yeah.
I'll check on, see if I can find funding for that too.
Great.
So ADA plan, you kind of want the ADA plan first, because sometimes it's the first layer.
Mhm.
Like if you're applying for other plans, they'll say, do you have an ADA plan? Check the box here.
Mhm.
So,
Okay, that's
We'll
what they're
see.
working on over there,
yeah,
yeah.
so
Yeah.
we'll see if we can find some funding for her there. And then housing production it's a great, Emily does great with housing production. It's a nice way to have a healthy conversation about housing. She's gotten it down pat, no matter what side of housing you're on.
Mhm.
And you're just discussing it. You're not making any choices. You're just going through the process, going through the motions. We'll see about housing production, and then we'll look into Complete Streets. Part of your main street is town-owned, correct? And part is not. Do I understand that correctly?
Well, it's a state
It's
route.
state designated, but
Yeah,
it's
but we
town
do
But
own
owned.
it.
yeah, but we know,
Town owned.
at one time the town, the state used to do it, right.
Because Complete Streets works on town-owned property.
And I'm pretty sure it's all
Yeah,
town.
I know it's
Yeah.
town owned.
It's down now, yeah.
And as a matter of fact, what is remnant of state down by Banchog Road,
The
they're
F-
trying to
what is it?
give to us.
What do they call that? Was that the F route? What route? There's a number, I forget. now.
Yeah, I forget what, yeah,
The
Becky's
G
right.
route or something, yeah, that goes up
like
through
that.
Manchester.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
What's
then-
the G route? Is that
it
just
means that the state pays to plow it.
the state what? I'm sorry?
State pays to plow it.
Oh.
The town doesn't have to plow that.
Oh, nice.
It's the state, I think, it's either the F or the G, it's something like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Interesting. No, I've just never heard it. That's what I was
And it
wondering.
goes up through Putnam Hill.
Yeah.
So Complete Streets, Adam.
So I had an idea too. I had run it by Bob at one point out behind our post office. It's kind of like a little wet area, and I know it's probably a seasonal brook, but I always pictured. I just see it as a just a wasted spot, but to take advantage of, I can picture. Call it a reflecting pool, I guess, but a place to sit And, you know, I can just see ducks, guys. It just, a vision I see when I just see this piece of land sitting there going, it's just overgrown brush and.
Right.
It's the
So can it-
Conservation Commission you'd have to fight with, yeah.
Is there a
Well,
culvert
again, no, it's not a culvert, it's just kind of a wet
It is a wet area,
area,
if you tell by the vegetation.
yeah. But
We just,
again, if you
know,
want something to happen.
Yeah, we
you
have,
know.
we're so limited in terms of our downtown area to begin with. Just driving through it, we've got large-scale trucks driving.
Oh, yeah.
It's very challenging. So to try to bring some cohesiveness and some small-town charm to the downtown area, which everyone that has answered our survey wants to see.
I saw them, yeah.
Yeah, you know, so thinking like Ross out of the box, there's no parking anywhere downtown. So if we try to start to move the parking behind the buildings with some potential areas there, could we do things and mix some parking with a reflecting pool or something, using some of those spaces that are right now not used? But we do run into then other issues with other commissions about what that space currently is versus using it for another purpose.
But you can control, I don't want to say control, I guess, but utilize what the land is in a more beautiful manner, if that makes sense.
Right, like
You
leaving
know?
it just the way
Yeah,
it is.
It's just, yeah,
right.
let's make
Yeah.
something out of it, you
Yep,
know?
and if we could get some parking back there, it will draw people to the downtown.
Right.
So that we can then begin to implement some of our ideas around restaurants or
Yeah.
all a bakery or things that people say they want.
And honestly, I could see that complementing the grammar school if it were
Whatever the
to be
project is.
sold.
Yeah.
And they're overlooking a nice little,
Yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
If they turn
spot.
into housing, now you're bringing more people downtown to be able to want those services.
yep.
That Riverwalk project is going to be massive
Yeah.
for you guys. I think it's going
And
to.
people want that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
That's
think
like,
that's gonna be a good one.
For residents and for people that work downtown, people that work
Yeah.
at the
Yeah.
bank, they want to take a walk at
yeah,
lunchtime.
their lunchtime,
Oh, yeah.
exactly.
I think
It
the
just
B-
shows
B
that
Street will
town
be the
has a
best one.
pulse.
Yeah.
The other one is more for people who want to go out there and really hike. That B Street's going to be the one for going downtown,
I
when you're
think
down there.
the other
Yeah.
one, though, I think has more economic development opportunity with the parking lot. If you could do a farmer's market there.
Oh, okay, sure.
Or you could do
Food trucks.
food trucks.
Right.
Or both,
You know,
or.
on
any-
every
yeah.
Friday night or every other
Yeah.
Friday night, or
Right.
have a little music in that parking lot. There's parking. It's an easy thing to do.
Yeah.
Right. To try to give people what they say they want.
Yeah.
You know. And I think the money's there. I think we can find the money to do it.
Right.
It's not going to happen tomorrow, but, you know, so while I know that you guys are working on that larger scale one, and I don't want to duplicate efforts, so we'll work on the other, but certainly if we can be of any help to, what you guys are trying to implement, then we certainly will.
Yeah, I think it's good to
That.
stay,
Engage the
Engage
two of them,
engage.
because we might find something that works that
Right.
will help you,
Right.
that you're not aware of,
Absolutely.
and vice versa.
or, yeah,
Also, if you're at the grocery store and somebody asks you a question,
yeah.
it's up to the
Yeah.
4 or 5 of you to
Right,
relay
yeah.
the information to people properly.
I tell everyone I can about the fact that we are working really hard to try to get things done in this town that people say they want.
Right,
Because it's imperative to keep people here,
Mhm,
you know?
mhm.
And I think so one of the things that we've talked about in terms of the beautification of the downtown is trying to maybe do some street lights that, are more sidewalk level, bring some more charm to some
More
cohesiveness
appealing,
to
yeah.
the buildings.
A lantern look.
Right.
Yeah, we have.
And I just don't know if there is funding to help. First of all, businesses need to be on board
Right.
with that, to a change of their storefront or,
So, not to interrupt, Meg, but there was, one of the little grants I was looking at was Hometown, is it Hometown?
The T-Mobile one.
something like that.
Oh, yes,
And-
I looked at
yeah.
that one too.
Yeah,
I think we just passed the date for application for
right,
it,
that was
maybe
mid,
July 27th or something like that.
so I
But-
think the new
I
one.
think they're seasonal. They may have like
One of them was
another round.
quarterly, I was reading
Okay.
also.
Yeah, I thought,
So, that one might have been quarterly.
I think it's quarterly.
Okay.
Yeah.
It renews after.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Is there ever any money available to help the people who actually own the buildings do a little work on the facade to make them look
Sometimes.
prettier?
It's not easy.
Yeah.
It's not an easy program at all.
I know when Northbridge did theirs, of course, they ended up, they could all get free signs and stuff. And so they tried to get all the signage kind of looking together.
Yeah.
That was pretty nice, you know?
We did it in our town too, but we did it with community development block grant funding.
Okay.
What, you don't have CDBG here? You're not eligible, right? You have CDBG?
I've heard
Sorry.
of it.
Do you have CDBG here?
I don't know.
What's required to be eligible?
They have an eligibility score. Usually it's income related.
Okay.
Let me check on that for you. But
Okay.
when you're using community development block grant funding or state funding to do
Right.
these sign and facade programs, they call them, you need prevailing wage
Right.
and the Davis-Bacon. You know how that goes. So it
It gets
makes
expensive,
It
yeah.
makes it way more
Yeah.
expensive than it needs to be. So sometimes it's not appealing for property owners.
Right.
And I don't know if you have the same issue in Douglas, but there's a lot of absentee property owners that just don't want to
Some.
sign on their buildings.
I don't think so much in the downtown area.
Well, that's good, you're
Yeah.
lucky.
We've got a
That's
mix
good
of
start.
residential
Yeah.
but also our business zone is so small.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You know, where we have the infrastructure to support business. So like starting in the downtown is like the most logical spot. But I would imagine that even with a grant, even if you knocked on doors and said, we'd like to offer you XYZ, you're going to have buy-in from the people who
Sure. Well, you
live
want it
and work
anywhere.
there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to go around all of the different topics that you guys discussed in your previous meetings. And the last thing I'll just mention is zoning. I know there was a discussion about zoning. So I did talk to our Ron Barron, who's our director of zoning and land use, and he's happy to take a look at your zoning. And also the Eco One Stop program is opening up in
What
the
is
next
that?
2 months. Have you know the Community One Stop for Growth is
Mhm.
an overarching program that the state runs. It has 14 or so programs
MassWorks is part
underneath
of it.
it.
Okay.
The MassWorks falls in it. They have a similar program for environmental and sustainable projects.
Mhm.
And they have another one for transportation projects called Grant Central. So
Yeah.
that's kind of like the route that the state's taking, their umbrella. So you only have to fill out one application, right, so for these programs. But it's opening up again, and they have planning assistance grants there so that you could potentially take a look at your zoning. That being said,
Yeah.
I'm making sure I checked all my boxes here mentally. Douglas is already involved in a priority development center study project that hasn't officially kicked off yet, but it runs for the next year until June. So we added Douglas into this program because of the work that you did in your master plan. The Riverwalk was part of it. We'll look at the zoning, we'll look at your downtown, we'll do some modeling for you so you can see what it would look like with the new sidewalks and the ornamental lighting. We'll look at the parking from an aerial drone footage, so we'll have an idea of where the parking is. We'll incorporate the Riverwalk into that project, so it'll kind of touch all the bases. And now that the EDC is up and running, not that you weren't up and running before, but now that you're super active, we could potentially run that program through the EDC. We'll run that project through the EDC, and that way you really have your finger on the pulse.
That'd be great.
The whole way.
That'd be great.
Because we met with Margaret already about, right? Didn't we meet with, weren't we on a call with Margaret?
Yeah.
In the engineering firm upstairs from us? Yeah. So we're in the process right now. We have all of your prior planning efforts. We're pulling all your data. We're taking all the assessor cards from your downtown. There's a whole study area that we have set aside. So all of that background work is being done now, and Emily is actually working on that project because she's so well in tune with it.
There are 3 other towns in there too, right?
Yeah, Leicester,
Leicester.
Blackstone, Brookfield, and Douglas.
Okay.
So this is a grant that we got last year
Right.
under that umbrella program I was telling you about. So that's why I was saving that for last, because a lot of these topics will be discussed in that project.
Great.
But something else just to consider, I put economic development kind of, I have the best job in my organization because I get to work with everybody because it really kind of all touches, right?
Yeah.
There's other things like social media, like being like Discover Douglas,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
We have a framework that we built for Rutland.
Uh-huh.
Rutland has used it, so John should be well aware of it. But we built it. So having like a social media presence, even having a picture of you guys in this room, like from over there, saying like this is what we're working on, and having a hit list of what's on your agenda. You know, pictures from Breezy Point, pictures from the town forest, pictures of the downtown, like not so pretty pictures, just so people know, like this is what you're talking about. Definitely highlighting businesses, all the different businesses that you have, big and small. Just kind of saying like you're welcome here. We're open for business. We're doing the best we can with what we have, and we're all on the same page, rowing in the same direction. I think it's free. You must have a local photographer that somebody has to know a photographer, right?
Well, we just got a whole bunch
Ton
of
of
pictures
pictures.
from the master plan because we
Right.
did a contest.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
So there might even be some we could use.
So I would
Yeah.
set up a social media calendar and just have it run on its own. You know, you can
Right, we did
preload
talk about
them.
that, making that like a running thing with all those pictures.
Yep. And I bet that there's some person at the high school who
Or BBT.
or
Yeah.
BBT
Yeah.
that could do it for us.
Yeah.
Or social media,
Like
whatever.
a marketing plan.
Yeah.
It's small and it's free, but it's so easy to look and share, to have, to have your family members share, and it just builds so quickly.
We
Just
need
something
some
to
good
consider.
PR.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
who better to promote yourself than from within, right?
Yeah, right.
Right.
And you can sprinkle in history. You can sprinkle in like the SNET, like people on the trails. Like there's really a lot here. There's a lot of potential. There's a lot that exists, but there's also a lot of potential.
I think that's great.
I like that little thing
Oh, the
you
story
scrolled
map?
through earlier, but you say it's hard to get to. How would one of us find that?
I think what.
Just to get ideas maybe from.
Yeah. I just sent it to Bob.
Okay.
I emailed it to you, Bob.
Yep, I've got it right here.
It says it's from August 5th, 2026, but that's false. It's from 2018, I believe.
Maybe we can look at it at the next meeting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
don't
maybe we
remember
need to.
that at all. I'm surprised. Well, maybe
Just
I just, my
ideas
memory might be getting bad.
Yeah. I stopped into Robin's Nursery over in Oxford because I thought they were the ones that had done all those flowers, but they're not. It's a landscaping company that's doing it. So the gentleman gave me 2 cards, but we have landscaping people that were in the parade. Local people
We
who
do, yeah.
maybe we could talk to about, helping us do some of the things downtown that we
Yeah.
want to do to, make it prettier, more inviting.
Even coming into your downtown, I'm terrible. I know I majored in geography, but I'm terrible with directions. But you take a left,
Yeah.
kind of a dangerous left.
Right, yeah, over the
Just
bridge,
over
yeah,
there.
right.
Yeah.
It's kind of a
It
dangerous
is, yeah,
left.
it's a freeway stop.
But even flowers like on that bridge, like they do
Right.
in Vermont, like just saying, hey, like you're almost to our
Yeah,
downtown,
right.
like
Yeah, that would be nice, right.
kind of to guide
And
you
that's where
in.
you had mentioned starting with the lantern type
That's where I want
Lights.
to start with the
Right.
lights. And we
Coming
ran
up.
out of money on North Street, we did
Yeah.
the sidewalk, because that would have been the perfect place to start with those historic
Yeah.
lights, those
Yeah.
lanterns,
You're coming into town.
and just
everything.
continue right up Main Street.
Yeah, we have them in
And-
our town, but we did it with MassWorks. I think it was a MassWorks project.
If we did flowers on that bridge, we'd have to find a way to water them with weeping hoses or something, because the last thing you want is people out there trying to
On the
water
bridge.
flowers with the
Right.
trailer
Yeah.
trucks
So
coming
you can
over.
make those, go to the little pumps.
From the
that-
river.
That work.
Yeah.
The river, yeah.
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 Something like that. But
Yeah,
that
I
would
think
be
there's-
really nice.
There's a lot of stuff that
just
we can
says,
do
like,
to make it
welcome.
more welcoming
Mhm.
when you enter the town and make it look like it, people
Fresh.
care about the downtown area and, yeah, no.
Well, quite a few years ago, people were doing flowers. Maybe they had a bunch of flowers that people were doing them all in front of their buildings and stuff.
Yeah.
I think
While back.
Riverbank
Yeah.
may have
Sponsored some of it,
sponsored the
yeah.
flowers,
Yeah.
but it's getting the people to go over and water them.
Yeah.
That's, I mean, you ever go to Jackson Hole? Oh my God, you should see what that looks like
Yeah.
with flowers.
It does make a huge difference.
Look at
Our
those.
landscaping company does ours too, and people are constantly asking
So,
me about our
yeah.
town.
You have a landscaping company in your town that does them? Now, do they volunteer or are they hired, do you know?
They are hired.
They're hired.
They were funded, I believe, with ARPA funding.
Which we don't have
To,
anymore.
Yeah, right,
it's like an event budget
right, yeah, yeah.
that they use. But it doesn't.
I was thinking that we could approach the people that do the common work
Mm-hmm.
to see if they have volunteers who might be willing to help us with
Well,
this.
Well, that
as
flower
well.
bed against Route 16 is just awesome.
Mhm.
Yep.
All the daffodils.
Oh, I know it, it's
Yeah.
beautiful.
Yeah, that's
That was an
a
eyesore at
tough,
one
that's a
time.
tough hill to
Yeah.
make look pretty, and man, they
And they
Right.
did.
do a heck of a job.
Yeah.
Where is that, Bob?
The common,
Okay.
where the gazebo is.
They have a lot of people up there working, physically
Yeah.
laboring, working,
Right.
getting flowers and stuff. They
Could
do a
we
great job.
create a committee or expand their committee to incorporate if we can find funding and get the things downtown in front of the businesses, can they help us with maintaining them over time? Or,
Yeah, right now, we need to do something with the sidewalks.
yep, yep.
And that's the end, that's the dressing.
The first thing I'd like to see is a handrail coming down the stairs in front of Gregory's.
Gregory's.
Yeah.
That is a tough spot
It is, I don't,
to do anything with. I don't know what you
but a
could do
handrail
there.
wouldn't be too hard to put there.
No, that's true.
Well, but maybe what she's talking about, maybe they can give us some ideas that we may not be thinking of with that
Exactly.
area.
We think it's an impossibility where
Right.
they see possibilities.
Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, well, we did this in this town, or
Yeah.
Yep.
whatever. This is how we did it.
They might have seen this before.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some of the things I've been thinking about in preparation for this meeting. But I'm excited to do the center studies with you guys because I think there's a lot that can be done here. And it's hard to say be patient, right? But if you start small, like the smaller projects, or AARP has some funding sources that you could potentially apply for. That the T-Mobile grant could be a kickstart. If we find ADA, that's important work, the ADA funding. Housing production is a whole other animal, but it's definitely worth. Do you not have any housing production plan at all? Do you
Not
know?
that I know, no.
Not that I'm aware of.
I would love to be on that committee.
Yeah. So you've got loads of options here, I think. The B Street project is huge. I know the Riverwalk project is already on the state's radar. We have a similar Riverwalk project in Blackstone that we're working on
good.
too, so it's very smart to use your assets. Do you have culvert issues anywhere in town that you're aware of? Because there's some culvert replacement
Yeah, we just
project.
did one on Maple Street, there's
Yeah.
one on Wall Street
Right.
that Highway is working on.
Right.
We just did someone Northwest Maine.
Northwest Maine, because they're redoing the street, so
Yeah.
you obviously do the underground stuff first.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I just finished a grant with Adam for Southeast Main Street, up against the Uxbridge line.
Our Adam?
No, our Adam.
okay.
Adam.
I was like, wait, different Adam.
Our highway superintendent.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, because there's funding for culvert replacement. There's also, this is one thing I did want to discuss with you guys. What is your feel on like Little League and youth sports? Do you have active youth sports? I heard you mention soccer a couple times in some of your other meetings, but
Yeah, there is,
You gave us several little kids, you have any little kids?
Little League and soccer and,
Yeah.
I mean, they used to be
Used to be huge when
Like
my
huge,
kids were in
Soccer?
baseball age
Yeah.
and soccer age.
Yeah.
Yep. Great
was-
community, like
Yeah.
parent booster clubs. We all ran and staffed the snack shack down
Mhm.
there, and we have a history of baseball here in Douglas.
Oh.
From, you could probably explain it better than me, but
46.
Yankees and the Red Sox.
Yankees and the Red Sox
Yeah.
Ed
played.
Williams, Joe DiMaggio.
Babe Ruth.
They all
oh,
played?
I
Yeah.
heard that at your workshop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
There's a
think
movie.
was there.
There's a movie.
No.
Really?
Yeah. Yep.
Wow, that's
Babe
exciting.
wasn't there, but Joe DiMaggio was, and Ted Williams
That
was
was
there.
was.
Emily is related to Babe Ruth, I think, in
Really?
some distant
Oh,
way.
wow.
I think.
My
Yeah.
dad was a pretty good Legion ball player.
Was he?
And I've been autographed. He played in Fenway Park, and I've been autographed picture of Ted Williams.
Come on. That's
Well,
awesome.
Yeah.
You know what went on? You know how you get the Paw Sox now? They're like, where they kind of like they go sometimes from there up to the major leagues and stuff. Well, they didn't have that then. The Valley Leagues were the Paw Sox
Yeah.
of those days.
Oh,
The
Moose
minor
House.
leagues.
The minor leagues.
And we
they
just
were
had our
minor-
anniversary as well of that event.
Yeah.
Down at Soldiers Field,
Yeah.
which is right next to where this B Street
Yeah.
Riverwalk is.
Oh.
So,
We're actually gonna get 'em.
Yeah.
Put in a,
Oh, she's
So-
commissioner's putting in a sign
Yeah, and
for
that's
the
September.
history of baseball in Douglas. I think it's September
That's
19th.
September, yeah.
See, that
And
would
that's
be
the
awesome.
anniversary of the ball game, I think.
Right.
Yes,
It was September
yeah.
26th.
Yeah.
The
September,
reason why
yeah.
the reason why I ask is because a lot of the research we've done shows that youth sports is a huge economic driver for a million reasons,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? So if the kids start Little League, Pee-wees, whatever
Right.
they're called,
T-ball or whatever.
they
yeah.
make their friends, and then
Yeah.
they want to stay and they want to play with their friends, so
Yeah.
they stay in the schools.
Yeah.
And the parents stay together and they build their community and then they run the boosters and it's a support system and it's really proven to be, and then you update your ball fields and then other people around say, oh, like Douglas has this, and my kid wants to play here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They will move here.
Yeah.
Parents are crazy for their kids.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And we
You know
have
what?
lights.
Because it's
Mhm.
Massachusetts in general, the price of housing is so high
It is.
that families, they can't afford. What is the first time home buyer now is 40 years old?
yeah.
I mean, this is crazy.
It really
And,
is.
they're not having kids. I get 3 grandsons, and they go, well, there's no way they can afford to get married and have kids. Well, we couldn't either. Just do it.
You find a way.
You find a way. They don't believe how much they tell you it takes to raise a kid. It's not true.
Yeah, I mean, it's just something to consider. I'm not familiar with the youth sports system. We've never
Yeah.
discussed
We
Yeah.
it.
have a good soccer system.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know much, but we ought to get
I don't
some
know
younger
anymore.
people in.
I used to be
Yeah.
on boosters with all the other baseball parents when my kids were playing, so I don't know today what that looks like.
Yeah.
Is John Furno still involved with
Coaching
that type of
softball.
stuff? He was
Softball.
at one time.
Yeah.
It
Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just something that as the EDC, just to
Right.
keep in the back of your mind,
Mhm.
like, because it has proven to really build a community and build it fast. Okay, I think my work here is done.
Well, so how do we
I'm
move
just kidding.
forward
I'm just kidding.
with you in terms of upcoming meetings, or would you like to come periodically and talk?
Yeah, I'm
Would
happy
you?
to.
Yep. I mean, you can come every time if you'd like to, but we only meet once a month,
No,
so.
I know.
yeah.
I think it was important for you to know that you're doing all the right things.
Oh, that's good to know.
That's good to know.
Yeah, like to the 10th power. Like, there was nothing that you haven't discussed that should be discussed within
Okay.
EDC. The fact that you have an economic development director is huge, and a planner. A lot of our towns don't have either. And lean on them for support too. But I'll go back tomorrow and I'll let everybody know about the discussions that we had here, so that when the next round of funding, we could do all the grant writing for you guys.
Do you want it all? You
Yeah.
want everything?
I'll say that. Douglas
How
wants
do you
more.
start that phase one of
I'll
looking
start
at
that
the
tomorrow,
soils?
yeah. Well,
on P Street.
I'll let them know tomorrow, just so they
It'd
have
be
an
nice to
idea.
get that.
Because there is history there, so blacksmith,
You
you
know who has a
should
lot
know
of,
what's
who
there.
has a lot of the knowledge on the history is, now I can't remember her name. She always sits beside me on master plan. and she
Oh, the
works at
librarian.
library, yeah.
Oh, Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rebecca. I tell you, I
Yeah.
sat down there, I went over there one day
Yeah,
and I
she's-
sat down and I talked to her. and
A whiz.
She really knows what she's talking
Yeah.
about.
Yep.
That lady is really up to
Yeah.
it.
Yep.
As far as like the history.
And the
Yeah.
history, oh
Yeah.
yeah. She's been doing great
Well,
stuff.
she's in charge of archives also?
Yeah,
at
she's the
library?
archivist.
Yeah.
No, but she knows, she's really, I was really impressed when I really sat down and talked to her. Because you know, at the meeting, she just said a few things and everything, but when we started talking, I went, whew.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She has,
Impressive.
one of the things that she's done is she's gone through all of the historical houses that had numbers on them. She's now brought them up to, so that you know which house it is with today's numbers. They would say, oh, so-and-so
Oh, okay.
lived in this house. Well, where was that? She
Right.
can tell you. I mean, that's just one
Yeah.
of the things she's done.
Yeah.
That could go on your social media posts.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah.
yeah. She's really, and she knows a lot about the axe mill. She's really very, very knowledgeable.
Okay. Maybe we'll invite her next.
I think what else, also, when Emily gets back from vacation, I'll talk with her and Sam about your implementation matrix and see
Yeah.
how many of these things are on there. Did anything surprise you here tonight that you haven't talked about in master plan?
No, I mean, on the grant side,
In the grant
yes,
side,
so
it's
just not
more
really
these things are
general
available.
awareness for myself at
Right.
least,
Yeah.
you know, in terms of what is available out
Yeah,
there and how to
understandable.
start to think about that, you know, going after some of that money and how it can help us implement a lot of things on the master plan. But just the survey alone, like all of these topics that we're talking about, the majority of people that responded to the survey have wanted all these things,
Mhm.
you know, in the town.
All right.
So I
Well,
think
that's what sparked that conversation in the first place.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
With you, me, and Margaret.
Yeah.
You're
Could I
looking at
ask your
Putnam.
email?
Right.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And your first name, I'm sorry.
Sure, it's Sarah.
Sarah. And what's your last name, Sarah?
It's Guymon, Guimond.
It's nice to meet you.
You do. And my email is SBC, and then my last name, Guimond. Guimond, sorry, I'll try to talk more clearly. At gmail.com.
You don't have a Douglas one? No?
All right. I'll reach out when I get the ADA information.
Okay, that's
for you.
awesome. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you
Who's
so
heading
much.
that? Eric?
We have 5 members. Ben Tessino is chairman. Jennifer Zipkak is vice chair. I'm secretary. And then Paul
there-
Beckwith is on there.
Eric Baldwin?
And Eric is the ADA officer for the town.
Yeah.
So he's like our staff member that
Okay.
we converse with. So he's at the meetings as well. Yeah.
He's your support mechanism.
Right.
Who is that?
Eric Bowen, our new
Building inspector?
building inspector.
Yeah,
He came
he's
from
like the
Shrewsbury.
ADA compliance
Oh, nice.
officer.
You're Shrewsbury, right?
Yeah.
Or-
I don't know him though.
Kidding, I
He
grew
was
up
there
in
for
Shrewsbury.
5 months.
Small
He was-
world.
No, I don't live in Shrewsbury, but Shrewsbury's in our region.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Did you go to school in Shrewsbury?
I did.
My aunt was a math teacher at Shrewsbury.
Oh, no
For a
kidding.
while.
Oh, wow.
Swenson. Gail?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
That's my
Okay.
aunt.
I didn't know she was your aunt.
Wow. Small
I guess
world.
originally everybody in Douglas.
Right?
I don't think I ever had her, but I know people that did because I remember her name. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thank you so
Yeah, no,
much
thank you.
for coming.
It was
so
really great to see
Yeah,
you
that
guys.
was
was
great
fantastic.
information. Thank you.
And again, you can come every month.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
I will try to get here. Get her here every month.
Have a great night, you guys.
Thanks,
Take care.
I appreciate it. I'll talk tomorrow.
All right, take care.
So those are all great things.
That was great
She
information.
Great
is a
information.
wealth of, she's been my connection with CMRPC for
Well, it's
Yeah.
good to
Quite a
know
few
that
years.
if we have questions too, we know who to contact.
Yeah. And it's good to know that Emily is going to stay on and do some other things as well, so,
Yeah.
because she's got a lot of continuity.
Yep, that's great.
Okay, so moving on to item number 5 in the agenda, webpage update. I think that we should probably push that off to next time.
Okay.
Because I've looked at it a little bit, but not nearly enough to be able to make
Suggestions,
suggestions
changes.
in terms of what we want to do. I do love the idea on the social media side, though, to see if we can find someone, either,
Yes.
I'd rather find somebody in the Douglas school system do it than farm it out to BVT, but certainly if the skill set
Yeah.
isn't there, then,
Right.
but at least offer
Agreeable.
it to them. And again, keeps the kids in, aware of the
Who would we
town.
approach on that, the business manager or Paul Viera? We just can't go into the schools
Oh,
and
no,
say,
no, no,
I
yes.
need your...
Yeah, no, and we gotta wait until school
Yeah.
starts up anyway, but I can take a look and see what would make sense in terms of who would be the right person, and then we could draft an email and introduce ourselves and ask if,
They might even have a department that does that.
right,
What,
right.
what do kids use for social media today? It sure isn't Facebook. That's for the old
No.
people.
Instagram, TikTok,
Yeah.
there's
There's so many.
so
now.
many, yeah. Okay, so we're gonna table the webpage
Number
update.
5.
Yep. One thing that I neglected back on number 1 for attendance is Jim Farrell is excused this evening. So I apologize for that oversight. And then number 6, continued discussion of general ideas and potential projects, which I think we've just been doing throughout the
Covered all,
entire
yeah.
meeting. And then number 7, open session for topics not reasonably anticipated 48 hours in advance of the meeting. Does anyone have anything that they'd like to discuss?
They have nothing.
I think it was all out on the table
Yeah,
today.
put
Yeah.
it right here.
Yep.
Covered quite a bit, some good information,
Yeah.
some stuff we'll have to research on
I
ourselves a
like the
little
idea
bit.
of complete streets is not necessarily bike lanes, because that was a
Right.
prerequisite.
Yeah.
You
Right.
took complete streets money, you put in bike lanes.
Yeah.
That was one thing I
Not
looked
open
at
for negotiation.
So have we
probably
changed on
4
that?
years ago.
She
like,
thinks they
Oh,
did.
good.
Yeah.
There's no way you're putting bike lanes on Route 16.
No.
No,
I
you
almost
shouldn't.
asked her if there was a grant for a tunnel.
We're gonna get that bill one way or the other. So we do, the minutes from, if we could take up the meeting minutes from that last meeting on July 1st.
Okay.
One thing that I wanted to bring up was zoning. So what I think I'll ask Jen to do for the next meeting is to make sure everybody has a copy of the current zoning bylaws so that everyone has them at least to look at, but also with the thought that those are going to be addressed by the planning board. But that is a very long project. Process, so that will not be an overnight
With
kind of
town
thing.
meeting vote.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know if there even is all of the zoning things, any place where they're printed all together.
The zoning bylaws?
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
have
there's a
we have a
booklet.
book.
We do have a book.
Yep.
Yeah.
And I don't know,
And it's
it's
up to
like
date?
2010 or something.
Yeah, that's the
I think
thing.
it's-
I don't think it's up to date.
No, it is. Every time there's
Is
a
it?
town meeting.
Really?
they
It's added
update
to it.
It's added
Yes.
to it.
I
Yes.
thought I brought it with me, but I didn't.
Yeah.
I mean, years ago I had one and stuff.
It is accessible online too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So I'll ask when Jen's back from
I
vacation
like
for our
having
next meeting.
stuff in.
I agree.
And
Yeah.
then I got my
I'm a
little
very-
magic
I'm a
marker.
paper person,
Yeah,
too.
I'm a paper person also.
Yeah.
So that at least everybody will have a copy of it.
Right.
With the thought that because planning board is going to be working on this topic, things that we want to start thinking about, we should start discussing, so that we can talk to the planning board about potential changes and
Details, yeah.
rationale behind changes that we'd like to see and why. Okay, take a peek at the minutes. Which is item number 2, taken out of order. These are way easier than planning board minutes. Anybody have any updates?
No, I think that looks pretty good.
I'll make a motion that we accept the minutes as written.
I'll second.
Excellent.
gotta vote on it.
Oh, sorry. I think I do that all the time.
Any discussion?
It's okay.
Is there any discussion?
Discussion.
No discussion.
Okay. Take a vote.
Carol Gogolinsky, aye.
Okay.
Smith, aye.
Meg Schlesman, aye.
Guess we're all
And that's
set.
it.
Thank you. Thank you, Bob.
Make a motion to adjourn?
I'll
Is it
second.
too soon?
Okay, we are adjourned.